The distance is short. A walk from the university through streets already defined by repetition. The same crossings, the same edges, the same sequence of movement performed often enough that it no longer requires attention. The city carries the body forward with quiet certainty. Nothing interrupts. Nothing resists. Until it does. A break appears, not as a destination, but as a disruption. A space where something once stood, now reduced first to fragments, then to absence, and finally a condition that appears neutral, but is not. The building is gone. Its removal reads as decisive, as if a conclusion has been reached. But the absence does not resolve. It persists. What remains is not emptiness, but suspension. A space without clear instruction, without identity, yet still embedded within the systems that surround it. Erasure is often understood as completion. But what disappears is not only material, it is possibility. Architecture is not only what is constructed. It is the framework through which life is organized, through which occupation unfolds, repeats, and evolves over time. As Henry Lefebvre suggests, space is produced through use, through the rhythms and patterns of everyday inhabitation. When those rhythms are interrupted, something else is removed alongside the physical structure. An entire field of potential actions. Within the contemporary city, use is rarely indeterminate. It is prescribed, regulated, and optimized. Spaces arrive with expectations already embedded within them, directing movement, shaping behavior, and limiting deviation. Over time, the body adjusts. It learns where to move, how to act, how to remain within these conditions without resistance. But here, that structure is no longer present. And in its absence, something becomes visible. Use does not disappear. It redistributes. It adapts. It finds other conditions through which to operate. A surface becomes something else. An edge is reinterpreted. And with this, the question shifts. Not what was here, but what else might have been possible. What if removal were not the only outcome? What if structure remained, not as preservation, but as a basis for transformation? A frame retained and opened. Solid conditions become impermeable, enclosure given way to connection, light penetrating deeper into space, air circulating where it was once restricted. In this state, space is no longer fixed, but contingent, capable of supporting multiple forms of use without being reduced to a single function. Living is no longer isolated. It begins to intersect with other conditions. Care is no longer externalized, nor confined to specialized environments, but becomes embedded within the everyday, present, continuous, and unannounced. The organization of space begins to loosen. Moments of stillness emerge within systems previously defined by movement. Boundaries soften. Transitions become gradual rather than abrupt. The ground no longer operates as a neutral surface, but as a medium that absorbs, filters, and regulates experience. Nothing is imposed. Nothing is excessive. The shift is subtle, but consequential. Use becomes less rigid, less singular, more open to interpretation. A space is no longer defined by its intended purpose, but by its capacity to accommodate variation. And within that capacity, something returns. Not what existed before, but what was never fully realized. A different mode of occupation. One that does not demand constant productivity. One that allows the body to exist without negotiation. Because the loss is not only what has been removed, it is the range of possibilities that were never allowed to emerge.